Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you are doing all right. It is the 2nd of April. It is Wednesday. That means it's hump day. Getting over the hump, getting over to the weekend. Everybody's working for the weekend. 4 o'clock on the East Coast, baby. That means if you are working here on the East Coast, you got an hour left of your day. But if you happen to be over on the West Coast, whew, man, you're just getting done with lunch. But if you're like my guy, Dougie Fresh, 6 a.m., Doug. Now you're over on the other side of the world. You're across the pond, baby. It's nighttime. You might have just had dinner. What was for dinner, Doug? What'd you get? What'd you get for dinner today, Dougie? Did you do tacos? Or no, wait, that was yesterday. Today's Wednesday. What are we doing for dinner tonight? I don't even know at all. But that's okay. That's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about crypto. Things are looking okay. I mean, a percent up, I think something like that is what we were looking at earlier. We'll look at CoinMarketCap shortly here. We'll look at the market. We got a couple stories. I got another video. This time we're going to watch the Maxine Waters. We're going to kind of react to what she's saying about Trump and the stablecoin. She thinks that he's basically going to make a stablecoin for the United States of his stablecoin. I don't know. We'll watch something like that. We got a couple headlines, and then we'll get into some charts, baby. Hopefully, there's some entries. I mean, I tell you what, today was a good day for a lot of coins. The morning session, I believe, was a little rocky, but then like things like ONDO had a nice pump, and then came back down in the afternoon. So we'll take a look at that stuff on the charts, though. But let's see really quick. I want to take a look over here at the chat really quick. Shout out to Wiener Wednesday. Get your glizzies, baby. It's Weenie Wednesday. Weenies and beans, man. Hey, if you don't know what weenies and beans is, I tell you what, we could talk about that later. Hot dogs and baked beans. It's delicious. Weenies and beans. You should try it. All right, here we go. DJ and Brian picking up the gold today. Woo! Jake the Crypto Snek. He's always just here for the like button. But now to be second and get the silver. And then Flying Ryan too. Let's go. Picking up the bronze. There we go. And then Mike Lowry, number 4. You missed it, my guys. The rest of you, congratulations to our medal winners for the day. Remember, at some point, that actually is going to mean something. We'll make sure that it does. But let's see here. What do we got? Who else is in the crowd? Let's go, Mike Lowry. I said that. DJ and Brian. Doom. There he is, my dude. Doom. Scroll down here. Brian Gensler, what's up, fam? Hope you're doing well. Jake the Crypto Snek, we are liberating the hump. Yeah, today is Liberation Day. Actually, at 4 o'clock. Whoa, it's like right now the thing. Trump. Let's see here. We should probably just stream that. Let me go to X while we chop it up here for a second. Let's go to Trump. Let's go to his page. I assume there's going to be a live stream of this. Liberation Day. That's right. I forgot it's Liberation Day. So if he's not doing it, should we go to the White House? Let's check this out. They're going to live stream it. Here we go. Well, that was perfect timing. Here we go. We can react to this. Thank you guys for being here. All right, let's get it. Unexpected. Let's change the title of this right here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice crowd. What a good looking group of people. Well, we have some very, very good news today, and a lot of good things are happening for our country. Please sit down. My fellow Americans, this is Liberation
You guys
Day.
can hear this, correct?
Waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. Going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy.
Can't hate that.
For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen. We have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago, and you are now, but you don't too often, and for many years and decades even, you didn't hear too much about. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen.
We're cutting the IRS. There's no more income taxes if you make more than 100.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal. That means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that.
No, that's bullshit.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt, and it'll all happen very quickly. With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before.
Let's go. USA. USA.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America. It's coming back. We're going to come back very strongly.
We're going to be the best, the biggest, the best. That was terrible.
We're pleased to be joined on this momentous occasion by Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D., thank you.
JD in the house.
Thank you very much. Where are you, J.D.?
Come on, you silly guy. Where are you at?
That wasn't too hard to find. I was looking, he likes to take a low-key attitude, so it'd usually be sitting right in front. He's gaining a lot of confidence, Mike, isn't it? And nearly my entire cabinet is here, as well as Speaker Mike Johnson, who's done an amazing job. And with the great success we had last night in Florida, we have a majority of 7. And 7's like a lot when we had it at 1, right? You've done a fantastic job. And many of the members of the House and Senate are with us. Senators, congressmen, thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it. For decades, the United States slashed our trade barriers on other countries, while those nations placed massive tariffs on our products and created outrageous non-monetary barriers to decimate our industries. And in many cases, the non-monetary barriers were worse than the monetary ones. They manipulated their currencies, subsidized their exports, stole our intellectual property, imposed exorbitant VAT taxes to disadvantage our products, adopted unfair rules and technical standards, and created filthy pollution havens. They were absolutely filthy, but they always came to us and they said, we're violating, we should pay for it. It's all detailed in a very big report by the U.S. Trade Representative on foreign trade barriers. And I'll just hold it up for you. It's available, and you don't have to pay too much. As I understand it, you'll pay nothing. It's a lot of work for something, actually, because it's a special book. It's frankly, it's very upsetting when you read it, when you see what people have been doing to us for 30 years. This all happened with no response from the United States of America, none whatsoever. But those days are over. Let me offer just a few examples of the vicious attacks our workers have faced for so many years. The United States charges other countries only a 2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%. Vietnam charges 75%, and others are even higher than that. Likewise, until today, the United States has for decades charged a 2.5 tariff. Think of that, 2.5% on foreign-made automobiles. The European Union charges us more than 10% tariffs, and they have 20% VATs, much, much higher. India charges 70%, and perhaps
value-added
worst
tax.
of all are the non-monetary restrictions imposed by South Korea, Japan, and very many other nations as a result of these colossal trade barriers. 81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries. And I say that friend and foe. And in many cases, the friend is worse than the foe in terms of trade. But such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk. I don't blame these other countries at all for this calamity. I blame former presidents and past leaders who weren't doing their job. They let it happen, and they let it happen to an extent that nobody can even believe. That's why, effective at midnight, we will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles.
USA, USA.
Thank you.
I drive a Kia, so
Brian, I'd like to have you come up here for a second, okay? I just see him sitting. He's been a fan of ours, and he understands this business a lot better than the economists.
Bitcoin's ripping. Holy shit.
Brian, say a few words, please, would you?
We'll keep that. The Bitcoin.
Watched my entire life. I have watched plant after plant after plant in Detroit and in the Metro Detroit area close. There are now plants sitting idle. There are now plants that are underutilized, and Donald Trump's policies are going to bring product back into those underutilized plants. There's going to be new investment. There's going to be new plants built. And the UAW members, and I brought 20 of them with me, they're sitting right over here. We support Donald Trump's policies on tariffs 100%. So, Mr. President, we can't thank you enough. And in 6 months or a year, we're going to begin to see the benefits. I can't wait to see what's happening 3 or 4 years down the road. Thank you, Mr. President.
What a great guy. He got it right from the beginning. He got it before almost anybody else. This group over there, they got it too. And, you know, we won the state of Michigan. We won almost all of them, but we won Michigan by a lot. And I want to just thank you all. The auto workers were fantastic. The Teamsters were fantastic. Everyone was pretty good, I will tell you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're going to be very happy very soon. And
It's buffering. All right. Well, I guess we can maybe stop watching this for a little bit. Seeing as how it's doing that, maybe it's a good time to segue into back to, guys, make sure that you smash the like button. That was a little bit of Trump's tariff talk. It looks like for whatever reason the video stopped. So Maybe the Foreign Automakers Society rugged the stream there. So either way, if you want to tune back into President Trump, feel free, go ahead. I'm not going to be mad at you. I get it. But let's go on with the show here. Thank you for joining. My name is JChains. It is 15 minutes. We started the show. We did a little bit of a Trump thing. That was funny how we caught that timing right as he went on. So yeah, China didn't like what they heard. Exactly, Doug. They're like, no, fuck this. Pull the plug. Pull the plug on his stream. All right. Let's do this. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. And we are, like I said, going to getting on. Here we go. Market cap up 1.1% today to 2.7 trillion. Volume up 13%, sitting at 88 billion. Dominance for Bitcoin. I'm telling you, on crypto, on CoinMarketCap, says 62%. It is damn near close to 63% on TradingView. So we'll look at that a little bit later. That's wild to me. ETH dominance at 8.3%. So it's not really changing a whole lot. Just hanging in that 8% range. Guaido down to 0.61. So our fear and greed index popping up to 29, but our altcoin season at 15. Did it go to 14 yesterday? Do we have historical? No, so we're down. Well, now it says 16. Okay, anyway, so I feel like it jumps around on us a little bit. But anyway, there we go. That's our altcoin season. As you know, the one thing that we do like to look at is our CMC 100. Man, I feel like one of these days I'm going to actually get it right. It is our altcoin season, isn't it? Yes, it is. Here we go. Let me make sure I'm showing you guys the right stuff. The right stuff. Top 100 coins performance over the last 90 days. Now, as you guys know, here we go. I found Trump or XRP today. It is right here. I am not going to not see it like I couldn't yesterday. Bitcoin sitting at down 11.75% over the last 90 days. Are notables, as we like to call them, that have outperformed Bitcoin. Not many, right? Not many of the major coins that we actually invest in long term. XRP is one of them, has outperformed it. It has been moving around, though, quite a bit. Tron, some people do. I'm not a Tron guy. Again, we talked about this yesterday. OKB, not really my thing. The KuCoin shares, not doing exchange tokens at the moment. Really no need except for the PT token on Phemex to get the discount on the trades and all that stuff. But shout out to Phemex, by the way. We'll look at some stuff. Hopefully, one of these days we'll time some stuff up when we look at the charts. We'll be able to get into a trade live, but we'll see. We'll take a look at TradingView later, and we'll see what sets up, see what's shaking in the markets, as they say. I don't know who is that would say that, but one of the things that we have been talking about is JASMY still down, is the biggest loser of the top 100 over the last 90 days. Still. At some point, this thing has been flirting with the 70 thing. It was in the 70s and it went into the 60s, like the lower 60s. Now we're at 69.65. So about ready to hit 70% again. One of these days, we'll look at the JASMY chart today. Let me make sure, like for real. Let me slide that up. We'll look at ONDO first. So we'll look at in our altcoins that we look at on the charts. ONDO, JASMY, Sol, PYTH. XRP is what I got lined up. We'll see how many we get to. But that will be the plan, is to really look at that JASMY chart, because I feel like that Doug will, when we look at the chart, man, hopefully we'll know about that. What about XRP? Man, I love XRP. CryptoFace is a Tron guy. When he sponsored my CFN fight through Market Cypher, I had gotten, I think it was USD, I think USDT or USD, USDT through Tron. So whatever. I have no problem with it. It's fast and it's cheap. So I don't use Tron. I don't have Tron in my portfolio, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad coin. I know that it's got a lot of activity over in Asia. Justin Sun is going to keep that thing rolling forever, probably. So one of these days, straight to the moon. Jake the Snake, you are so right. So right. Speaking of Snek, did you guys see Snek getting ready to make the jump from Cardano over to the base ecosystem? My guy, Doug, he was there. He was my corner guy. He saw me get punched in the face up close, closer than any of y'all did, even though those cameras were close. He was there. He got to hear it like live. All right. he's probably really Brian. He's probably really the only one. Face is probably the only one that really talks about Tron. But you know that the Tron stablecoin is like one of the most active stablecoin ecosystems in all of crypto. You felt it. I love that. All right. Let's see here. Let's go back to crypto, the CoinMarketCap. All right. Let's look at some of our, am I showing you the right thing? Yep. Some of our top coins here. Look at this. Bitcoin at 87.5 has pumped almost 2% in the last hour, almost 3% in the last day, less than 0.5% in the last week, which is funny to see. Like the last day of activity, Bitcoin's doing some things, making some heat. You got Ethereum at 1927. Love to see this thing pop back over 2K. Hopefully it happens soon. You got XRP at 218. Come on, 250. I'm thinking about an XRP long that I want to run. That thing's going to run at some point soon. It's going to run at some point. That's going to be one that you're going to want to maybe look at for your. I'm gonna do a long-term trade. I know I'm going to, like one of those ones you're in for like a month or two or whatever. I call that long-term. I know some people will be in it for months. If you catch it right and it never comes even anywhere close to your entry, you catch it, boom, 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 you're good to go. As long as you didn't get wiped out in funding, man, you let that thing run as long as you want. All right, BNB 608. That is not really as active as the other ones. It's only up not even 1% in the last hour. Less than 0.1% in the last day. Solana 134. Come on, Solana, shake it with a stick. Let's go. It is up 3% in the last hour, about 7% in the last day. Dogecoin number 8, 1776. What a year that was, man. What a year that was, up almost 3% on the day and a little bit over that. Well, on the hour and then a little bit over that on the day. Excuse me. And then Cardano, let's go. 69 cents for all you weirdos. And then Tron coming in at number 10. We're just talking about it, 4% on the week. Let's see. What is Toncoin back up there? Where's Toncoin been? How high did it pop up? When it kind of lost some of its cap. We'll take a look at that and see where did it find itself. Anything else moving on up in the ranks here? Pi down to 26. I forget what it was yesterday. Let's look at our losers. Any opportunities today? Not really. Look at that Pi right there, down 3.3%. Pi story. I feel like story and move we're gonna see him everywhere we go for the next couple of weeks here. It's all we ever see him is either in gainer or a loser. Could be a good trading coin if you're not doing it. Let's see. That's about it for the losers on the day. Anything on the week that we should probably take a look at? We were talking about this yesterday. IMX, okay, still down double digits, down 18%, almost 19% on the week. That would be a good one, especially if you're into gaming. I just don't know. The poll, the appeal of the poll. But you're gonna have to get some because there's that Rogue Buddies mint coming out soon. Make sure that you guys do that. There'll be more information about that. There's also more information tonight. We'll get through this section and then remind me about the Ghostface Killer thing because that's going to be tonight. Let's see here. Oh, and I should change the. I should probably change back the title of the live stream now that we're not covering the Trump stuff. We'll see how the market ends up reacting overall. I mean, everything seems to be pumping, so the market likes it. So let's see here. Where was that title? Where are we at? There it is. Excuse me for 1 second while I do this. I just want to make sure people don't feel like they're getting swindled because we're not talking about the Trump stuff anymore. There we go. Save. All right. Maybe it's not going to change on YouTube. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, let's go. Save changes. Get out of here. Okay. All right. Assumed it was for Snek. Oh, maybe that was a joke. Was that yesterday or was that for real? Oh, shit. Maybe the Snek thing was. Oh, man. Oh, man. I might have fallen for that. I might have actually straight up fallen for the whole Snek thing. That whole Trump page froze on me. China did not like what was happening there. That is for certain. Okay, let's go Snek. Oh man, yeah. I think that was a joke. That was definitely a joke. You know what? I fucking hate. I got wamboozled by April Fools. Man, oh man. You win some, you lose some. Definitely lost that one. My brother got me live on the show too, because he had texted me saying that I was getting sued by Ben. That like threw me for a fucking loop. I was like, wait, what? And that's that gift I kept on giving, man. I'll tell you what. A couple people got me. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing we got here. Where are we on the screen? You are on. Let's go to our news stories. Let's do that. All right. So this first one, I saw this thing come live right before I went live. I was like, oh snap. That's interesting. Trump is telling his inner circle that Musk is going to be leaving soon. I wonder if he's overstayed his welcome, or if in his mind, it's time for him to move on. I wonder how all this went. I clicked on this and brought it up. I don't know anything about it at the moment. If you guys know anything about this, let me know in the chat. But we're going to dig into this. Let's go. President Trump told his inner circle, including members of his cabinet, that Elon Musk will be stepping back in the coming week from his current role as governing partner, ubiquitous cheerleader, and Washington hatchet man. That's pretty funny. The president remains pleased with Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency initiative, but both men have decided in recent days that it would soon be time for Musk to return to his businesses and take on a supporting role, according to the three Trump insiders who were granted anonymity to describe the evolving relationship. Okay, I think this is probably a good thing. Anyway, I don't really need to go too far into that, but hey, great job for them kicking that thing off, coming in, Musk coming in there and really dropping the hammer on cleaning up some of that waste. I mean, knowing that we were spending, and I don't remember the number, but what was like maybe a couple $100 million on transgendered animals in like Afghanistan or something. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, fucking stupid. We do not need to be funding that at all. No one cares about transgendered animals except for, I guess, maybe the people that, but that's not what we need to be spending on any money on, in my opinion. And maybe I'm being slightly facetious there, but Musk probably found stuff that he doesn't want to release, so he's stepping back because he'd rather, maybe someone got to him and said, "Hey man, hey, I know you found that. If you say anything, we're gonna whack you." Must have been Andrew Gordon and his henchmen in Chicago, probably. I'm just kidding. All right, everything is going down now fast. Really? Are the market's making a turn for things? Let's see here. Oh man, Bitcoin's back down to 85.9. Let's go let me bring this up for you guys. All right, there you go. You can see that. So here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, holy smokes. Definitely did a nice little 180, as they say. Whoa. All right, so that's Bitcoin dropping. We got this is at this point, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. This stuff could start dropping like rocks. This could be the drop, or this could be the fake out before the breakout, the shakeout before the breakout. Tesla shareholders. Man. We got to see what's going on over there. How's JASMY? This is a coin we were going to look at, man. Everything was looking. Let's go. This is all in the hourly. Let's pop this over to the 10-minute and see if we get a little more. Oh man, right before it pumped, right after it pumped, it dumped. And then, I mean, I say pump, but you look at these candles. This was a 4% candle in 10 minutes. Woo! And then it just like immediately reversed direction. Solana, same thing. Damn. PYTH, ONDO. I mean, like, this would either be the time to get into a trade or to hold off. If I was not live, I would be like studying to see, because I mean, these are the ones that you could get in. If this is just a quick little thing and then it comes back up, those are great opportunities. But if it continues to go down, I mean, that's what it looks like, especially on these shorter time frames. I mean, holy shit. This is something that I'm personally not going to trade. And this is a tough week to trade. You guys know that. We talked about this earlier, where there is a lot of things going on. There is going to be a lot of volatility. Today is our man, I keep forgetting what the name of, what do they call it? The tariff day, whatever it's supposed to be. Canada offers tariff removal if US reciprocates. Okay. We'll see what happens. This might be how things all work. There's supposed to be more potential news Friday to kill the prices coming in from Brian Gensler. I'm like, that's the thing. Like, this was supposed to be, yeah, thanks, Mike Lowry, Liberation Day. I can't remember that word for whatever reason. And even though I know that we're liberating our work week with Hump Day, all that stuff, the whole idea of this week, that there's a lot of news coming out. There's supposed to be a lot of things shaking up. A lot of people saying that there's a lot of potential news to cause some negative market reaction. And so I'll tell you what, man, you got to stay vigilant. And if you are trading, make sure that you are putting in your tight stops. Make sure that you know exactly what's happening. You know, you don't set it and forget it. You know, that's a silly move all the time, but especially when things are supposed to be real rough. Whew, whew. The candles over the last, these are 45 minutes. I mean, you look at comparatively speaking, you know, all these are pretty short compared to these last couple. You got two massive ones, two bigger ones here, a couple big this. So things might start getting a little bit choppy. That could be a good thing. Maybe this is time for really to be paying attention to get into those longs, because I feel like if we do see some negative action, today's Wednesday, right? So spend the next couple days kind of assessing the markets, drawing your lines, setting your alarms, doing all the stuff that you got to do, especially if we do get some more potentially negative adverse news coming in Friday. I mean, that's the shit you're going to want to be doing anyway. Liberation Day, America. Let's go. All right, let's look at some of the other charts that we've got that we typically like to look at to see what's happening here. Even, holy shit. So the total crypto market cap did this. Everything took a fire. It's so weird how everything moves at the same. So that is a 2.25 candle on a 45-minute time frame. 2.25% drop of the entire market. Ooh-wee. That's $62 billion. That's wild. I wonder when the news comes out, like what was liquidated, all that stuff. But again, that could be, it's not a wick. This forming a body right here as of right now in a lot of on all these charts. And so, I mean, I wouldn't call this a leverage flush, right? This is just going to be a big sell-off. That's why you got to be cautious on these days. I did a little baby trade earlier, and I ended up closing it out in the profit. Not much, but like a couple percent. And thank God, because it was ONDO. It was like right around here. It was in here where I caught like the up, and then it went down. So be careful if you guys are going to trade today. And if you are going to trade, you know what you should do is you should go into the description, and let me just make sure it's there, because I want to make sure that I'm always giving you the right information. Yeah, if you want to trade with us on Phemex, you can go ahead and click that link. Guys, here's the deal, is that there is no more requirement for KYC. There's no more requirement for VPN. I got you, fam. I went through the whitelist process, so you don't have to. I've been told y'all are good to go. So let's do this. Everybody sign up for a Phemex account underneath the link, because we're going to be doing trading competitions. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing all sorts of shit. So make sure that you are signed up, right? Just do it. Even if you have a Phemex account. I've got two now. I've got a personal one, and I've got the show one now that I'm going to be running everything through. So let's go. Again, there'll be contests. We're going to do all sorts of fun stuff. We're just kicking this off. So if there's things that you want to do, you want to be a part of, say like Blocky. I'm going to have Blocky on the show. There's no reason why, like, maybe we can't do a head-to-head trade competition one day where, we do some charts, we get into some trades, all that stuff. Like, we could probably set that up with anybody, but you gotta sign up with a Phemex account underneath the link. And if you have done that on my previous account, and you want the credit with the account that you've got now, just shoot me your UID number. And I think that, on a case-by-case basis, we could probably do that. Yeah, Jake, go ahead and do that. Send me the UID, and we can see what we can do there. Let's go. Smash that like button. All right. Let's get back into what we're getting on with what we're getting on with. Let's share that tab. There you go. This lawmaker alleges Trump wants to replace the U.S. dollar with his stablecoin. This is Representative Maxine Waters, and she's suggesting that Donald J. Trump is going to replace the U.S. dollar with his stablecoin. Come on, you got to give me a break. All right, Maxine Waters, she's a ranking member of the U.S. House Financial Services Committee. She used her opening statement at a markup hearing to criticize Trump business ethics and ethical entanglements. She had said that he had used his position as president to leverage multiple crypto schemes for profit. There was a quote: Trump likely wants the entire government to use stablecoins from payments made by the Department of Housing and Urban Development to Social Security payments to paying taxes. And which coin do you think Trump would replace the dollar with? His own, of course. I see. Now, here's the deal. I love the idea of the entire government shifting over to a blockchain-based using crypto for stuff, right? I think everybody loves that idea. There you go. There's transparency. Lock it up. It's not going to be with Trump's stablecoin, though. That's ridiculous. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. But this would be fantastic to see. And I know the old people are scared of it, but yeah, really, like, how does that even work when a stable coin is pegged to the US dollar? Like, it should be pegged to something else. Like, if you're trying to, whatever, that just seems crazy. I do have a thought now. Before we saw the Trump thing, I had this plan, so we can listen to a little bit of this, and then we'll comment on what Maxine Waters is saying. So this is actually what she was saying. What?
Musk have undermined all of this work. In fact, since taking office, Trump has only enriched himself, his crypto cabinet, and the rest of the crypto billionaire class. And he has done nothing to improve the economy, let alone anything to bring down the cost of groceries.
Let's just really
In fact,
quick talk about kind of the whole enriching thing, because, like, I don't know, if you look at any congressperson or senator or whatever, they have like these $200,000 a year jobs, salaries, and somehow they end up being worth 200 million. Like, how does that even work out? A kind of enrichment process, I feel like. All right, come on, let's give Maxine some more time.
egg prices are up 53%.
Oh,
And just yesterday, the S&P 500 fell a blistering 2.7%. Started with the meme coin scheme.
the meme coin. Hey, let me see them meme coins. Let's look at this really quick, because I feel like the S&P 500 slipped recently. Egg prices are up. I feel like egg prices are up because we had like an insane amount of chicken farms get torched last year, and then some kind of stupid thing where there was some chicken flu or bird flu coming out, so they killed all the fucking birds. So I think, if my brain works just a little, the supply and demand, simple economics, that they killed all the fucking chickens. That's why there's no eggs, and that's why they're so fucking expensive. Maybe. But you saw these farms burning, all the chicken things, the little, I'll tell you what, man, if you have never driven by one of those chicken farms, don't do it. And if you've never been by a beef farm, like a smaller one, don't do it. I'll tell you what, that's just gross. And those smells, man, no, thank you. All right, let's see here. Back to Maxine Water. Oh no, we wanted to do the S&P 500. That's what we wanted to look at, because she was talking about how that there was a big 2% drop. Let's go on the daily because we know. I mean, this thing started actually like in early February. The S&P 500, she's bitching about a 2% drop. Why the fuck isn't she saying something about a 10% drop? You know what I mean? But let's see. She's saying about a 2% drop. And let's see, this was Friday, July 12th in 2024 when we saw, Biden still in office, and this thing dropped 4% there. Ultimately it was down here, which was 8%. I just, I'm just saying. Come on, Maxine, Ms. Waters.
$350 million. And just last week, Trump signed an executive order to spend U.S. taxpayer resources to create a fund of billions of dollars of crypto.
What? You mean instead of sending it to fucking Ukraine and then people getting kickbacks and going in their pockets, we're going to make our country rich? We're going to invest? And that's preposterous? Instead of just fucking sending it to other countries? That's just one example. I don't know if you could even have heard that. My apologies. Oh, I got a little heated there, Maxine.
Enrich Trump, Musk, and MAGA cronies already holding these cryptocurrencies.
Why does she talk like that? And her mouth does move weird.
Despite my belief that the Trump administration only wants crypto legislation that personally benefits them and protects their crypto financiers.
All right. I don't think we can listen to any more of this lady. Here's the deal. I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, possibly. And this was a headline, right? Like Trump basically getting rich off of crypto, and that's all he cares about. And at the end of the day, she's just sour. She doesn't know how to use a ledger. I know. Well, here's at the end of the day, there are some things that were good for crypto that Trump did, and some things that were bad for crypto that Trump did. I think one of the things that we heard Eric Trump say that he single-handedly put crypto on the map. No, we know we've been here, right? We know that there's a lot of big people. We know that this has been it went from a movement to an industry to now we're part of the financial ecosystem. But at the end of the day, we do have to give credit where credit is due. And yeah, it did expedite mass adoption of crypto in a way that I don't think most people expected. It's something that we had been hoping for, dreaming for, wishing for, pushing for since I had gotten into the space. That was always the message, was mass adoption, right? Well, it's coming. It's literally here. Like, it's happening. We're hearing banks want to participate. They want to be able to offer it. I got a couple articles. You've got some investment opportunities for just normal people to get in now. It's just, it's happening. This is the time. Again, we talk about, I brought this up. AJ loved it, was, the whole bullish divergence of what we're seeing in crypto. We might see price go down. Prices may be slipping, but the news has never been better. And so when you think about that, equate it to the chart, right? The price is obviously the price. And then, you look down at the bottom, the indicators, the divergences, all that stuff. And what we are looking at right now is some of the most bullish news, the narratives, the progress, the pushing this entire industry forward. It's all happening, right? And so that's the indicators down below. And so we've got the price going down. We got the indicators going up, forming a bullish divergence. And so at the end of the day, who cares what people like Maxine Waters is saying? Who cares? And I, the world is pay to play, no matter if you like it or not. I'm sure Miss Waters, in her tenure as a politician, has received some kind of something that would be frowned upon and probably illegal for what she's done. However, that's just the way the world works. The world is pay to play. So that's not the same thing as Trump enriching himself, but using his position to create a company. They surrounded themselves in all aspects of crypto. We looked at this. They've got the mining company. They got the coins. They got, all sorts of DeFi shit. And so, Trump would have made money off crypto regardless being president or not. Exactly. I mean, they had been talking about crypto for a while. Is what I think Eric Trump alluded to in that interview that we had watched a little bit of yesterday. So, all right, the next article that we are going to take a look at here. Moving on, guys. Make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you do that. If you are watching on X, go ahead and hit the heart. We could, you know what? We have not done that in a while. When we get through all the articles, we're going to go through and do a little tutorial on how to effectively like a video on X. I'll do a little tutorial for you guys. I hope you enjoy that. All right. All right. Fidelity launches crypto-focused IRA, letting investors trade in Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin. Whether you like those coins or not, that's not the point. The point is that this is extremely bullish. We'll look at this quick take really quick right here. The Fidelity crypto for IRA lets investors add crypto to their retirement portfolio through the digital assets that are currently limited to Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin. There are 3 types of IRA account registrations: the Fidelity Crypto Roth IRA, the Fidelity Crypto Traditional IRA, and the Fidelity Crypto Rollover IRA. So, man, this is bullish news, guys. It doesn't matter if you're into IRAs. It doesn't matter if you do anything with Fidelity. I guarantee probably your grandpa does, your grandma, your father, whatever. Like, I'm sure that this is a big deal for someone that if you've wanted to get someone into crypto and they were a little bit more skeptical, but now that their beloved Fidelity is offering this to them through, maybe your retirement account. Tell you what, it's bullish. I am bullish on that. I'll tell you what. I don't know if you guys are, but I am. Mash that like button, fam. I appreciate that. Crypto Surge says, I care what Cynthia Olympus says. That's actually a really good point. Listen to her. We'll start pulling some more information to see if we can get things that she's saying, articles from what she's talking about. I like that. That's a really good idea. She seems to be the spearhead for a lot of the activity. Obviously, Trump's the mouthpiece and he's the face and all that stuff, but I assume she's doing a lot of the harder work there. So, all right. Here we go. Fidelity is committed to offering investment products and solutions to meet the changing needs and interests of our customers, accompanied by education and support. That's from a Fidelity spokesperson. The launch of Fidelity's crypto-focused IRAs comes after a smattering of numerous digital asset investment vehicles, such as volatility shares, launching 2 exchange-traded funds tracking Solana's performance, and proposed funds tracking Litecoin, BNB, Pengu, and other coins. Let's see here. Bitcoin, ETH, and Litecoin are respectively the first, second, and 23rd. Litecoin was definitely way up there a long time ago. This is like a grandpa pick, but it's okay. It's okay. Litecoin. I would like to know what the activity is like on the Litecoin network. Who is still promoting, who's still pushing, who's still talking and doing that? Because when you look at it, let's go to CoinMarketCap, LTC. Number 19, it's a $6.5 billion market cap, right? If you look at the volume, $610 million over the last 24 hours, up 61% though on that volume. Definitely took a shot up to $88 and down to 85. This could be a nice little correction, guys, if that's your thing to get into a trade. We'll talk some of that stuff a little bit later. The Let's see. Was there anything left on this Fidelity article? Now we got through it all. There it is. Let's move on to our next one. We've got, let's see. Where is actually what happened to the StreamYard? Here it is. Fund manager VanEck moves launch the first U.S.-based BNB ETF. Here we go. They are reshuffling the investment practices, inviting a fresh look at how digital assets can reshape portfolio design, sparking debates on risk and transparency. End of the day, I know it's like a BNB ETF. Why? I mean, there's a lot of activity in the Asian markets, and I get that, here in the U.S., but that means that it's a very active coin. It is number, well, I was going to say 5, but I think it's number 6. 5. It is number 5. It does have a $85 billion market cap. XRP is 123 billion, so a little bit off. So XRP is sitting safe at number 4 right now. But you never know how things are going to shake out and where things are going to go. You could see XRP actually come back up into the 3 spot very soon here, which would be great. And then it is, a quick race to catch up with ETH. I think it's going to happen. You know what? We did not do a poll, and I'm going to put a poll up. What do you guys think? Will ETH get flipped by XRP? I'll say, I'll say that differently. Will XRP flip ETH this cycle? All right. Drop that poll over on the YouTube. If you guys are watching over there, go ahead and check that out. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But if you are over on X, there's no poll. Yeah, there's nothing you can do there. You cannot vote on that. So it is advantageous to get over to the YouTube and vote on that poll, because we got to know. We got to know right now 100% will XRP flip ETH this cycle. So what do you think? I think it will. I think it's written. Mark it, Donnie. All right, let's Alabama, and let's look at this really quick here. Alabama passes a second strategic Bitcoin reserve bill allowing the state investment board to buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. This happened today. So there you go. Adoption is happening. This bill will authorize the state of treasurer to invest certain monies in digital assets. A bill to be entitled an act. There you go. So congratulations, the state of Alabama. You can now, the investment board can now buy Bitcoin. There you go. All right, let's look at some charts really quick. Before we do that, I do have to really quickly say, one, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. Smash the like button. We're going to look at some charts here, look at some opportunities, maybe get into a trade if things are looking right. You never know what that dip brought us. Dips bring opportunities, and this might be the one that we want. So make sure you do that. Thank you very much to Phemex for being my partner and sponsoring the channel. And a quick word from my homie.
Oh, Dad, how about this one?
Boom. There it is. All right. Let's go. Let's bring it back. Bring it back one time. Chop, chop now, y'all. All right. So we were looking at the S&P 500, but let's look the total. Here is the total crypto market cap. And as you can see, we've got ourselves a nice wick today. Let's zoom in. This is the day. Let's go to the hour. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. So as you can see, we lost a little bit of our market cap here today. It was 2.77 trillion. I believe the information that I put together at the beginning of the show. So that's where we were. And 2.77 right here. So if we were at the beginning of the show, 2.77, well, it should actually, maybe it went up. I don't know why there's not a body on that part of the candle. Anyway, so man, I'll tell you what, things dipped quick. So we'll see where this thing shakes out for the total market cap. You know that I love looking at the others, man. I'll tell you what, this is a fucking massive wick day. Where are we at here? So from here to here, this is the others chart. Now, this is the total market cap minus the top 10. So no Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, stable, stuff like that. Man, that was a bigger. So today's wick on that was 3.76%. What was the whole? 3.4. Okay, so very similar. It just it looked a little bit worse for whatever reason on the others chart. And then you go, there's the Bitcoin chart. Man, all right. So here we go. Here's ONDO. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I am looking for right here. Hey, Carmen, what's going on? People said he was going to reduce tariffs, not enforce them. Yeah, it's interesting how all that's going to shake out, and we'll see if there's more things. Like I had read a headline when I looked over on X saying that Canada will drop their tariffs if we drop ours. It's going to be interesting to see how all that shakes out. I know that we want more things made here in America. That does help. Having cars made here in America helps us. They become cheaper. But like the guy, we saw the very excited auto workers say, we'll see, the basically reap the rewards of this 6 months to a year. But really, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, that's what we're looking for, is the recovery down the road. There's nothing you can do to fix it right now. Throwing, there's nothing you can do to fix it right now. This to me, I believe, in many fronts, throwing tariffs on some things, or at least threatening them, and seeing how things shake out, and getting more activity here in the U.S. economy. And I say this driving a fucking Kia, so hopefully my Kia was made in America. I don't know if it was, so I'm just probably a hypocrite on that. All right, let's look at the ONDO chart, because let's zoom it out really quick and let's get a better look, because we've got this green trend. I had my guy Corey had texted me and said that we were looking at this about a potential ONDO breakout yesterday, and as it turns out, I think we wanted to change our line with how things were going, and we did, and we almost did today. We bumped up against it. I actually got the alert that we touched that line, because I've got my alarm set right here. As you guys know, that's what we do. Is we always want to make sure that we got an alarm set, because we want to do the work once. You don't want to have to waste all of your, and I say waste all of your day, but spend all of your days staring at a screen in a chart when you could be doing some other things. You could be making other moves, man. You could get an alert that it's time to get in this long. And so we did that. I got the thing, but this alert right here says breakout, go long. So if this breaks out, we're going to go long on it, right? But we're going to hold. We're not going to trade the anticipation of it, because we want kind of the confirmation that at least we'll trade the break, right? And sometimes you catch it. Sometimes you got to wait for it to come back down and retest and then go back up. It all depends. I'm waiting specifically right now for the breakout on this. I'm not trying to trade any more of the downtrend, because it kind of just happens at the weird times. So Jake said his truck was made in Kentucky in America, except the motor was made in Windsor, Canada. I tell you, there are only two things. Let me go full screen for this. There are only two things in this planet that are good coming out of Windsor, Canada. One is the engine of Jake's truck, and two is the idea of julienning your pepperoni so that you get a much better flavor profile on your entire pizza. That's a trick that I learned in Windsor from my Canadian friends. So thank you all for teaching me and telling me to get that kind of a pizza, even though I'd get pepperoni anyway, to get it in Windsor, to make sure that I get the style. And so that is the way to go. We do that at home now. Every time, we make our pizza every Friday night now. Every Friday, I am julienning my pepperoni. It is the move. So shout out to my Canadian friends. Crazy crypto scad coming in hot from the 10% tariff territory. There we go. What's up, all my tariff homies? The homies in all the different tariff locations. What's your hey, drop your let's look at the poll right now. 64% says yes, 36% says no, that XRP is going to flip ETH this cycle. Okay. All right. Smash the like button. Smash the like button if you like crypto and if you like buttons. What's the heck is julienning your pepperoni? It's like dicing it up, but not dicing it. You just cut it into strips. So take get your sharpest knife, right? And take a stack of 10 pepperonis, and then just make single cuts you know, so that you've got little strips, right? So your pepperoni is cut into like little strips. So you probably do, you know, 4 strips or whatever in a pepperoni, 3 strips, whatever it is. So that's julienning. Like basically, like when you see like Asian vegetables, like the long thin slice, carrots, stuff like that, that's a julienne, is what that cut technique is called. Sorry. No soup for you. No soup for you. All right. So ONDO, we're waiting to trade the break on this, guys. We are waiting to trade the breakout on this chart because this downtrend has been our December downtrend. We are up at the top. We are finally, you know, like down here. We spent a lot of time. You know, we spent a lot of time in this zone right here away from our trend line. We came up here. We smacked it. We gave a little and then came back down. Hopefully what we see here is our second attempt at the trend line to break free, break out, and break up. So that's what we're waiting for. I am going to be patient on the ONDO trade and make sure that I catch that thing when the timing is right. But I've got my alert set, and it will tell me, hey, if this thing's broken out or if it's breaking out, you're going to want to take that long. So currently, right now, that is at 88 cents, 88.26. Probably done for today. Tomorrow, that comes to 87.07. And on Friday, so let's look here. Like right here is like a nice little, here's our little triangle of love that we're in. So technically, if this were to play out, which they always do, it's either going to break out or it's going to break up. And then you got 1 week to figure it out, Ondo. Hopefully you break up. Want to break free? That's what Doug says. Absolutely. Crypto Scat. So I had never heard that either until last year we went up to Canada for the Futurist conference, and I can't believe I was just talking about that whole Bitcoin chart, and you guys didn't even see the chart. That's what happens sometimes. You guys know that. It's part of the trick. And you're like, what did he say? Where? What do you mean? So here we go. So this right here, again, if we were to zoom this out, this is our downtrend from December, right? And we had several attempts to break free right here. One, we hit several times through here throughout the month of February. Right here in March, we boom, then we went down. Most recently, at the end of March, we did another. This is why I said we did a little right there, little smoochy. And then just today, little peck. That's all I got. But so that means we are on borrowed time, and I feel like the narrative is too strong to break down. Obviously, everything could always break down, but the whole idea of we are like at the precipice of things starting to move in the right direction, you know, I just feel like the breakout is going to be up. But you know, you could always be wrong. Here's ONDO on the weekly chart. We don't want to remove our trend line. We can't, because that's our alarm. But there you go. So that's the weekly. Obviously, like most coins, man, it's gotten decimated, just absolutely destroyed since all-time high in December, on December 14th. But was it December 14th? It was the week the week of around there. We got to put it on the day to get the actual. And I thought it was the 14th, but the 214 might be the 14 number that I'm sticking into my mind here. December 16th was the day. That was the day. 214.45, all-time high on ONDO. That was the day that we will be crushing that price very soon, on our way to $5. All my fellow ONDO. We didn't want to do the Ondovians because, like, if we, like, honestly, like, what I feel about the Ondovians is like, yeah, that was like the OG name that was picked by some people that, you know, were into ONDO early on. I never really liked it. And here's the deal. If you were to happen to walk into the alley with, say, I don't know, the XRP Army or the Link Marines or, God forbid, the Ada Gang, and all of a sudden they're like, yo, motherfucker, who are you? And you're like, we're the Ondovians. They'd be like, bitch, give me your money. Like, it doesn't go well. But if we say, like, yo, motherfucker, we're the ONDO Outlaws, and you're like, respect. Something like that. It's got to be something like that. It can't be the Ondovians. That's weak. The Ondonauts, like, I get it, but what am I, a fucking donut? No, No, man, that's like soft and delicious and maybe with some frosting on it. If sprinkles, if it's pink frosting. But no, the Ondo not same thing, man. It's not gangster enough. Like it just, we were gonna do a whole March Madness thing, but everybody rejected it. And so I think the Ondo Outlaws is like what won the original poll, but we'll see. The Ondovian sounds like The Sims. I know, right? Like we're not, nah, bro. Again, remember, if we happen to walk at a crypto conference and we are all walking together and we walk down an alley and we come across the H Barbarians and they're like, yo, who the fuck are you? We're like, the Ondovians. They're like, get out of our way, nerds. That's what they would say. The H Barbarians would say that. Not going to work. So we're going to keep working on this. I like the Outlaws. I mean, keeping with like, the O and the O, the Ondo Outlaws. And we'll see. But Ondovians is not, I'm not in that camp. And if we got to have, two different Ondo camps and we fight at Karate Combat or CFN, that's what we do. And the winner gets the actual name. I think it's probably what's going to have to happen. So you guys let me know. Let me know if we're into doing something like that. And if there are other names and other ring leaders for those names, we're going to have like a meeting. It's going to be like a conference. So, all right. So watch out. You got Ondo in the triangle of love. Hopefully we see this thing come back down here, touch our support at 78 cents. That would be great. That would be a nice entry to get into the long, even if we play in this little zone for a couple days, to give yourself a nice little 10x. Remember, easy peasy. We're not going big. I think I have mine set at 15x right now, which is not a lot. Not a lot. I'm usually like a 25x kind of guy, but we're taming it down because we want to be more reasonable, have better expectations for everybody, including ourselves, but more for everybody. Okay. So that was Ondo. We do want to look at the JASMY chart as well. The Ondo cons. I like even the cons is good because then you're like a convict, not artist. Maybe it can't work. Maybe it can. Maybe that's part of the allure. You're like, what? JASMY chart. I tell you what, at some point, unless even if crypto goes into a bear market, at some point, JASMY has got to go because it's just like what's happening here in America. And you guys have heard me say this, and I don't need to say it too many more times. Ondoho. Got a brainstorm in the Ondoho. The dojo. Ondojo. Yeah. Maybe we fight at the Ondojo. Ondojo. Whatever. That's, there's, I could sit there and say that for a while trying to figure it out. And I'm not going to do that because you guys would all just say, like, fuck this, I'm out, and click away. All right. So, JASMY. What are our thoughts on JASMY? JASMY's like one of those underperformers. JASMY is one of those dog shit 2025, what the heck is happening here? If you look at the all-time chart, and I'll go to CoinMarketCap for that. I mean, that is like one of those ICPs. Especially if you look at the all-time, man, the all-time is dog shit. It's like a rugged ass meme coin. Like, what happened here? What happened? What happened? To cause all this never to come back like a lot. And why the fuck are we all smoking so much hopium thinking that it's gonna come back? You know what I mean? Trump, we got to think about. For me, knowing that Japan is getting ready to shift their policy on crypto. They're shifting their mindset. They're making it more available. They're going to have ETFs. They're going to give people some tax money back. They're really trying to stimulate the economy there. And I feel like this will be a massive opportunity. However, when you look at things like this, when you look at the all-time chart right here for JASMY, you got to be like, man, Are we all just smoking hopium that this thing's going to come back? Like, what's the reason? Really? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Like, why is this going to come back? What is it doing? I mean, we got to maybe do some more research and see, what are they doing new? What are they doing to compete? What are they doing to stay relevant? What are they building? How's the community? Other than a couple people who are just again smoking the hopium about this stuff. Was the optimal entry or AJ spoke about for JASMY around under a penny? I definitely believe so. For like optimal, however, you're in a downtrend until you're not, and you go, but you pop back and take a look at the chart. I mean, that's a fucking downtrend, and we are still in it. You know what I mean? Now we may be close to breaking out of it. As you can see, we can actually go from the high touch here, and touch here. Like we've maybe like finally done what we need to do. And the only thing that scares me is like, okay, if for whatever reason, here, this is about it right here. Let's go. This is like the true ass uh potential bottom would be like these lines right here. So that would mean like if we slip all the way down to like a historical bottom for some support, I mean that's at a half a penny. You know what I mean? So I feel like you could probably get a better entry because it's still going down. Now I say that, and everybody understands that at a moment's notice something could happen and this thing could turn around and it could pump up. You know what I mean? But remember, you're in a trend until you're not, and this thing is in a hard trend down. It has been for several months now. So when you talk about like I want to get back into JASMY, like I want a JASMY position, but if I can buy it at a half a penny versus a penny, I can buy double the amount. And so I get it. This is one that I'm okay, because here's the deal. I had said something about this before. Like we're at the point now where, and I know this contradicts what I'm saying a little bit, but but it's different because I have to do this and show these things, and it's different sometimes. And this JASMY I don't quite care about. I want a bag of it. I want to try to get it as low as possible. But remember, when you think about where we are in the cycle, we think about what's going to happen. Remember this bullish divergence that's playing out right now, where currently the price is going down, but we have never seen amazing news consistently, day in, day out, about what's happening in crypto. And so we know where this is headed, right? And so you could probably save a few pennies, or it would be a few bucks to get double or whatever, right? Depending on how much you want to buy. But you could hold off and wait for more of a drop, or you could start to buy, saying at the end of the day, if crypto does what it's supposed to do and the tail end of this year, and I've said 6 to 8 months from now, we're going to be laughing. We are going to be laughing about the prices of all of the coins that we're looking at right now, with the exception of some will not survive. We know that. But the ONDOs, the JASMYs, the Solanas, the PYTHs, hopefully PYTH picks up, man. PYTH has been a dog shit performer too. I mean, this thing is lower than it has ever been. We can zoom this thing out. This Phemex chart, I've looked at other charts before, and they might go back a little bit farther, but there's no lower price action than what we see. Like that was the historical low, and so we are down below that. And so I would think that even if we were to say historically, let's put it there. So like historically, so like this right here, like if you were to like buy it under in this zone, like you're making some fucking money, right? You obviously you got that pump. If you bought it here, you got that little bit of the last baby pump, whatever. But so that being said, look where it is. It's way down here. It's like uncharted territory. You don't know. I don't know what to tell you as far as like, can you get PYTH cheaper? You might be able to. It might go lower. What do the indicators say? And this is on the daily. Let's double. Damn it. We gotta do this. I mean, we're gonna have some things moving up, Something's moving down. Looks like the money flow's changing. That's coming down. We'll see what happens here. But I mean, this could be boom, boom. This could be the beginning to the final part of the bullish divergence happening, playing out there for PYTH. XRP. Kind of bouncing around one of these older support lines that we drew. Obviously, this was probably around this time when we saw this. Well, it's come back down to it. This is the daily. When was this? Tuesday, May 11th. Now we've definitely looked at it since that, but I'll tell you what, man. Nothing screams to me like, and I don't really want to put in a short because that's not really what I'm interested in the moment. And minus this little outlier right here, what again, we're in a downtrend until we're not. That goes back to January. We're not making new higher highs. And even if we were to bring this up here, we're still in that downtrend that dates back all the way to the middle part of January. Let's see here. Yo, what's up, brother? What do you think about Morpho? Let's take a look at it. We'll take a look over here on CoinMarketCap first. Morpho coming at 146. I definitely heard some people talking about this recently. So this came out at November. It is lower than the price that it launched out and immediately nuked down, according to this chart here. I'll bring this up actually so you guys can see a little bit. There you go. Let's see here. New asset listing on Coinbase. So it got listed on February 24th on Coinbase and has basically gone down since. That's really interesting. Let's take a look at the website. All right, so this is Morpho. Again, we'll go through some of the tokenomics of it here before we go and check out some of the website and socials and stuff. So $278 million market cap, down 5%. You got volume is 30 million. The billion tokens is the supply, and circulation is 237 million. So you got about 24% out. Okay, it is the contract there, either a base or it is an ETH. Website. Let's go check out the website. Open infrastructure for on-chain loans. Morpho is the most secure, efficient, and flexible lending platform. Earn, borrow, and build. Told you deposits. They got $4.7 billion in deposits. Loans, $1.8 billion. Supposedly chain link on base. Okay. Earn, put your crypto to work. All right. So there's DeFi, borrow for curators and businesses. You can curate. Earn fees for optimizing yield, risk, and liquidity. Build your own lending use case with Morpho's powerful infrastructure. Okay. It's a good website. Backed by industry leaders. Who do we got? We got some big names here. Ribbit Capital, A16Z Crypto, Coinbase Ventures. You got Pantera Capital, Kraken Ventures, Nascent. Okay. And 100-hour. Okay. Participating in Morpho governance. Interesting. Check out their Twitter account. Morpho Labs, contributing on the Morpho protocol, earn, borrow, build on Morpho. We'll throw them a follow. We'll do that. See, when was their last post? Last organic post 6 hours ago. Interest, okay, over 100 million interest generated on Morpho. We'll throw that a like on there. All right. Definitely want to Aave. Okay. It's like an Aave on base. Got you. All right. Very interesting. All right. Well, I'll check this one out. Let's look at the chart. Morpho is just Morpho, right? Yeah. Morpho. Where can you find it? Is it on Phemex? Oh, it's on Phemex. Look at that. Morpho. All right. I'm gonna have to do some more research in there. I mean, it's done exactly what everything else has done since December, right? Like it had its nice little time and has since gotten slapped in the face like every crypto has, with the exception of was it Movement? Is it Movement that's like defied logic? Move. We got that on Phemex. I know that they do. USDT spot crypto. No, man, there was something I know we were looking at recently where it's like it has done the absolute complete opposite of what everything else the market has been doing. So not move. All right. Anyway, let's go look at the Morpho chart. Cancel. Spot crypto on Phemex. There it is. Also, guys, don't forget there's the Memex thing. We're going to be working with that. And actually, so tonight I got to see if there is a show planned. I have not heard back yet. So tonight is the Ghostface Killer is the token launch. There will be, it's now, this is not your typical celebrity token. I know you're like, dude, shut the fuck up. But listen, from what I understand, this whole, he's been in crypto for a number of years, and whether, you know, he's been successful with other projects or not, from what I understand, this will be integrated. This is a utility thing, will be integrated with NFTs and music and how things are token gated and all that stuff. So that is going to be coming up tonight. I believe that the token drop is, if I'm not mistaken. So if there is not an official space, if there is not anything pumping up about this, I will run something. So be on the lookout for that. XRP, how's that? It's still in our wedge. XRP is doing its thing, man, sitting at that bottom. We would like to see this thing push up, man. We can get everything to kick. Who's in NFTs anymore? I get it, man, but they're going to come back. They are, and not exactly how you think they are. It's not so much like I need a PFP, so I got to buy a super fucking expensive NFT and then I can show it off, even though that will happen. I feel like we can start to embrace NFTs as the next evolution, and think about for an artist who can and the whole music NFT thing, I'm a little weary of it to some extent because of the times that I'd spent $30 on a fucking song that came with an NFT and nothing else, and like, does it really matter? No. I appreciate being able to support the artist and all that kind of stuff, but I think charging everybody $30 for a song is a little crazy. But knowing at the end of the day that these artists who traditionally, you know, the music industry has been very predatory and these contracts have been shitty for artists. So knowing that now, you know, if you are a musician, if you are an artist, if you are someone who is creating and then implementing on the blockchain through NFTs, very beneficial. And I feel like we hit that next phase. We have to be grown-ups now, like the NFT ecosystem does. Again, you'll always see the PFPs and the generative collections and I don't, you know, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like the big hype of all of that is over. Now it's time for the utility phase of NFTs to kick in, is kind of what I'm thinking. Will Sand and Mana come back to? Get out of here. No, however, Sand did pump like crazy recently, and I just don't, that to me is wild. Brian, I know, I get it, you know, the whole NFT thing, but like, look at this. Like this thing, like this was wild. This is the 1 day, everything did this. 7 day, the monthly. Man, I feel like this thing, like, I remember it saying, like, there was the whole thing was like, holy shit, like, why is it was before that. I mean, it had to have been something here, and because it's down so much, maybe the pump seemed greater than what it was. But no, Sand and Mana are not coming back. My gosh. Mr. Mayo, what's up, brother? Hydroski. What is this, Anchorman? My apartment smells of rich mahogany. Sand does have good money. Think about it. And that was like the one thing, man, like the partnerships that was with the Sandbox. And it was like the biggest stars, the biggest partnerships, the biggest deals, everything was happening over on Sandbox. But the problem is it's pixelated. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, that's not, if you're going to a Metaverse concert, I sure shit don't want to go to a pixelated one. Not me. I know a lot of people like their pixelated art. I'm not here to knock pixelated art. It's not my style. It is not my style at all. Yes, it was not too long ago. It was like a top gainer in the day. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why would Sand be pumping? Who knows? Maybe it was some insider trying to make it pump so they can unload their bag. Because I don't know if you guys know that. It probably happens a lot. I think the sandbox would have worked out far better if it were easier to access. That's the thing. I mean, you got people who, 4 years later, still can't even like do stuff on their land. I mean, you need like a supercomputer to run it, especially if you had like a decent sized plot. Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, when we get to, and this is why cloud computing, Filecoin, all that kind of shit, that's important when we get back to it, because now you could have those large files and run it by using a decentralized cloud computing space. That is a little different stories, but that shit's so far out there, man. There are people that just can't quite get that. And I think if you were to have the conversation with like, oh yeah, no, you just like, people just use like your extra computer power. People like, nobody's allowed in my computer. No, nobody's allowed to touch my computer. That's mine. Like, I feel like that there's just a long way to go until we get there. Sandbox, thank you for talking about it. Yeah, seriously. Nintendo Entertainment. I was an ApeCoin bull too, dude. I was like super bullish on that whole ecosystem, and I feel like if the other side, and well, this is like a whole gaming conversation, I feel like now, so maybe we should do this. Whitney and I have been strategizing about how like the future of the shows and all that stuff are going to go, and how it seems like how things are going to work is that the show, the morning show is like the community connection, right? This is for all of us to get together. The Web3 breakfast coming back. The afternoon show, news and numbers, to do, this kind of reporting, do our trading, looking at charts, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm adding in a Thursday night show, and that's going to be my podcast, right? That's my once a week. We'll have high level guests, or we'll just have guests, and we're going to talk about things that matter. That are relevant, whether it's in society, in crypto, both, social media, whatever it is. But that's going to be fun. And so why the hell are we talking about ApeCoin? And I feel like when I was doing, it had something to do with ApeCoin. Man, I was an ApeCoin bull though a long time ago, always hoping for. Oh, so we were talking about gaming, and that's what it was like. So when the other side itself, and that's where I feel like that's where this needs, and much like I talk about the the whole idea of for PYTH to be successful, Chainlink really has to be successful, and it's that competition is going to breed the success. Well, once these games and everything kicks off, once all that happens, and the other side starts churning its ecosystem, well, ApeCoin is the token for that. And so the future will be there as long as the other side has a future. Without it, I believe you could just buy like mutants with it on OpenSea or something, and that's all that really matters. There's going to be no ecosystem if the other side doesn't take off. But if it does, then that's going to be worth having again. But for now, let's see, where is ApeCoin? It has been so fucking long since I looked at ApeCoin. Coming in at 125, ranking on CoinMarketCap, $340 million market cap. It is down 6% today. You got 1 billion tokens in the supply, circulating 752, so 75% of it is out. That chart looks terrible, man. I'll tell you what. I remember these days of this. I remember these days early on. Those were the good days of ApeCoin, and then all of this happened. And then I remember saying like, oh, if you could get it under $2, if you could get ApeCoin under $2, man, you gotta do that. Man, I wasn't showing you my screen on the ApeCoin chart. There it is. And so, the $2 range, that shit's down here, man. And we hit that, and we have never looked back as far as going up. Now, I feel like that is this is one of those coins where, again, the ecosystem churns and kicks and goes into high gear, and you get a lot of users, and it is successful. You are going to see a big push out of the ApeCoin, but it is very, very contingent on the other side being successful. So the crypto gaming companies did get their game on Steam and other major platforms, absolutely, but I don't even know. I know they've done a couple like play tests for the other side. I don't believe it's a fully playable game quite yet, and so that's the thing. Like, for it to be up to that caliber that you would think to be that top tier luxury brand, like they can't just rush this thing. We saw, was it OTG come out, and they spent $20 million on their game. That seems to be kind of like the threshold. I think I had heard some other game came out after that or was coming out that was like 30 or 50 mil, something like that. And so you think about these thresholds and what it takes to create this game. Hopefully the other side will be at that caliber, or else I feel like what we saw and maybe what we heard was, why gaming has just fallen off is because everybody had to go back to the drawing board, because when you set the tone and you set the precedent, you can't deliver an inferior product. That's not how that works. So a lot of ApeCoin friends like Dread Guy. Nice. Still bullish on Big Time. I believe, yeah, so Big Time's one of the big games, OTG. So those were the two big games that came out last year in gaming, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys know more, Shrapnel, I believe, was one of them. Make sure you drop them in the comments. Let's look at our poll really quick before we head on a skedaddle. I can't believe we did an hour and a half. Oh, that's right. We did like 15 minutes listening to Trump. That's right. That's right. Okay, so 63% of you think that XRP is going to flip ETH this cycle. I'm about it. I think it's going to happen. Let's go, XRP Army. Throw them up one more time for me. All right, that's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Remember, keep an eye on your charts. Set your alarms. Get alerted when it's time to start paying attention again. It doesn't mean because your alarm goes off, it's time to go long or short. It just means get your ass back to the chart and do what you're supposed to do. Let's see. More hard Shrapnel and so because the main developers left. Yeah, I believe there was some issues with it, right? Yeah, well, let's do gaming soon. We'll do a Web3 breakfast. We'll talk about gaming. We'll get all of our old gamer friends back, and we'll have a good session. So, all right, that's going to do it for today. I appreciate you guys. Ooh, my backlight wasn't on, my colored light. That's all right. We'll have it back tomorrow. All right, ciao for now, friends. We'll see you.